This is how you make a really entertaining driving machine. Start with a feisty straight-six turbo engine. Give it 6 gears you shift yourself and 3 pedals, no paddles please, and make it drive the right set of wheels, the ones behind you like the sports car gods intended. Give it some big blue brakes and some stiff springs, and don't make it too big or heavy or more bloated than a pregnant walrus. Light and lean and lots of power with braking and handling to match, and a manual tranny. That's how you do it, and that's how BMW's done it here. This is the M240i, a Hot Rod 2 Series that gives you more sauce than standard 2 Series models as an option if the range-topping, track day ready M2 is a bit too hardcore, pricey, or likely to get you in trouble. In a nutshell then, this is the better part of 20 grand cheaper than that more serious BMW M2 and nearly as fast and powerful. Starting well under 50 grand, the M240i is a machine worth serious consideration if the lust to park a speedy European plaything in your garage has you itching like a dollar store bathrobe. The cabin nicely blends high-tech and traditional luxury. You've got some black leather and contrast stitching even on the dash, simple and nicely finished control consoles for climate and stereo, and a great set of leather seats. At a glance, the atmosphere is formal, tidy, quietly upscale. Start the car and the tech comes to life. A giant widescreen central display, a partially digital instrument cluster with built-in display screens embedded. In all, high-tech meets luxury in a compact cabin for a distinctively upscale sporting appearance. And outside, well, the best part is that unlike some premium cars, this one doesn't look like it was attacked by a bedazzler full of chrome, and probably no one will wonder if you have a manscarf collection as you roll down the road. It's a little car, keep that in mind. You get 2 doors and a cabin that 2 average-sized adults will find neither roomy nor cramped. If you're mostly driving alone or with that special someone as your only passenger, it's a good size. Also, easy to park, maneuver, and whisk through traffic. Rear seats can physically fit an adult, but at about 5'10", I was already out of headroom. Trunk space is adequate for a few luggages, a load of groceries, and the like. If you like a sports car that fits you comfy snug, not too big, not too small, well, this hits the mark. Don't miss the potent LED headlights or the mighty Harman Kardon stereo system, which nearly competes with the stereo under the hood. This 3-liter turbocharged straight-six makes 340 horsepower, though I'm curious what BMW is feeding these horses, because this little beastie feels suspiciously quick. It's also got the $1,500 factory-installed sports exhaust option, which you will want if you like to play some exhaust music every chance you get, like me. That sounds lovely, and God, it's fast. In fact, this engine is probably the best thing about this car. It's beautiful. You get both lots of torque as well as 7,000 usable revs to play with, and they all pass beneath the tachometer needle with barely a hint of vibration or harshness back into the cabin. The big torque output means you can use 2,000 revs or less to just glide along with barely a squeeze on the throttle. And whether you use it gently or hard, this engine sounds pleasing and never feels like it's working up a sweat. Brakes match it. Typical high-performance setup, a little numb and vague when used gently, but with precision that grows the harder they're worked. Stopping power is huge. There's no worry of fade as hard as you could work them on a public road. Use sport mode and the steering feel is quick and heavy, both playful, confident, and bolted down. Though I wish for a little more feel of what was happening between the tires and the pavement, and wished the steering was a touch quicker at turning. By and large, it approximates the steering you'll experience at your favorite $3 a lap go-kart track. Shifter and clutch are nicely set up for the most part. The clutch is tuned perfectly for the enthusiast driver. Good effort, very springy, great feel. It's heavy, but not too heavy, positive, consistent, and easy to modulate. The shifter is typical BMW, a little springier than I like, but with short throws and a delicate action, plus the fact that you can even order your M240i with a manual at all, it's easy to forgive. Notably, the gearbox includes an auto rev matching feature for downshifts. Watch here, that's the car doing the throttle blips, not me. It makes you sound like Schumacher taught you how to heel and toe, but you can't turn it off. Thankfully, it works really well. Put it all together, and what have you got?
So here's the thing that really stands out. Now, in many cars like this one, you put it into a comfort or a normal drive mode, and all the sporty stuff sort of goes away, and you feel a bit like you're driving a Corolla until you turn it all back on. Now, there are drive modes here, but even in the most tame of them, the M240i is still always sort of on, just a bit. The exhaust sound is always there, faintly, but it's present. The steering, the shifter, the clutch, the ride, they're all that little bit heavier, stiffer, and sort of tuned even when you're driving gently. So all said, it doesn't diminish comfort, but rather serves to remind you just a bit, but at all times, that you're driving something a bit serious.
And furthering that effect is the simple fact that very much of this car feels at its absolute prime when you drive the pants off of it. You could totally daily drive one of these, easily go run errands or pick some things up at Canadian Tire, but drive it like you stole it and it comes right to life. Gripes, nothing too serious. I'm not nuts on the shifter, but I'm glad it's available, and styling-wise, as I've said on earlier versions of this machine, I just wish it looked a little more menacing, serious, or aggressive. Of course, there's still the track day-focused BMW M2 for that. It's a step above the M240i, but again, it's only a little faster, a little more powerful, but it costs 17 grand more. From 47 with rear-wheel drive and a proper manual gearbox, this M240i might just be an enthusiast car no-brainer. Thanks for watching.